What's up, everybody? Welcome to the UFC 243 press conference. Whittaker versus Adesanya here in Melbourne, Australia. Thanks, first of all, to all the fans who've showed up and, of course, all the media. I'd like to also welcome Simone Bailey, the Victorian Professional Boxing and Combat Sports Commission, and like to acknowledge and warm thanks to the Minister of Sport, Major Events of Tourism, the Honorable Martin Pakula, and the CEO of Visit Victoria, Peter Bingaman. UFC 243, Whittaker versus Adesanya, takes place Sunday, October 6th at Marvel Stadium here in Melbourne, Australia. First bout scheduled for 9:15 a.m. with the main card kicking off at 1 p.m. UFC 243 is on track to be not only the biggest event here in Australia, but one of the biggest events of all time in UFC history. The whole world is going to be watching. This will be the 15th Australian UFC event overall since Feb 2010, and the fourth here to take place in Melbourne. Tickets for UFC 243 go on sale to the public tomorrow, Friday, August 16th at ticketmaster.com.au. And in Australia, you can catch the prelims on ESPN and Fight Pass and buy the UFC 243 pay-per-view through Main Event, Fetch, and UFC TV. Now I'd like to open it up to the media for some questions, please.
Robert, I guess the first question is, how are you feeling? Obviously, you had quite a traumatic experience about 6 months ago. How's the body feeling a few months out from the fight?
Yeah, no, I feel absolutely great. I feel great. You know, on the back of the surgery, I just focused on my health, on my fitness, on my strength, and I can honestly say this is the best I've ever been.
And it obviously must have been quite a frustrating experience for you, in front of a home crowd. Is there a sense that you feel like, you want to sort of make it up to the Australian and the Melbourne crowd and give them a bit of a show this time around?
100%. I feel Melbourne is owed a show, and I intend to bring it.
Israel, I guess this is your second main event in Australia this year, obviously after what happened to Robert. How's that make you feel?
It was cool, I got to headline next door at Rod Laver Arena against one of the best of all time. And right now, he's the guy with the belt, and I get to do the same thing again in Melbourne another time.
And you're on a pretty incredible run. I mean, 17-0. Do you feel sort of almost invincible at the moment? Do you feel like you're at the real peak of your game?
Come watch my sparrings. I mean, I get teammates like John Vake, Brad Riddell, Foe. I have guys who put work on me every other day. Even right now, one of John's brothers, Foe, he's the one that's catching me at the gym. And I remind him, like, don't worry, I'll get you back. So I get my licks as well. But that's what do they say? Sweat more in training and bleed less in battle. That's the motto. And under those lights, I shine, man. Trust me. In the gym, I get my licks, I give the licks back, but under those lights, I always shine, and this will be no different.
And does that the gym work with those guys you mentioned, does that help you sort of stay grounded? And so with the gym work with those guys you mentioned, does that sort of help you stay grounded and focused on the prize at hand?
Speaking of grounded, come see Dan Hooker, come see Stephen Warby. Take me down and hold me down and try and work me, and I have to get up. That keeps me grounded. No one's been able to do that in the UFC yet. And I've said it in an interview, my advice is to shoot. If he wants to get the work done, shoot. I mean, no one's been able to do it. If he wants to stand with me, I like to stand and bang, so let me bang, bro. I'll advise him, try and keep me grounded come October 6th.
I guess, Robert,
thanks to all 5 people that clapped. I appreciate that. Appreciate you all.
Robert, you're also on quite a big winning streak yourself. It's been over 5.5 years now. Do you also sort of feel at the sort of top of your game right now in your career?
I feel great in the sense of overcoming adversity such as the surgery and getting back to where I am right now. Honestly, I think in peak condition. But that left a really sour, bitter taste in my mouth. And I just can't wait to get back in there.
And I mean, it has been 16 months since your last fight, and in that time, Israel's fought 4 times. Do you think that gives Israel an advantage, or you don't really see that as much of an issue?
Mate, Israel's on a tear. He's tearing through the ranks. He's the interim champ at the moment, and yeah, you know, he's put in work. It was no choice on my own to drag it out that far. Trust me, I would have liked to have fought sooner. But it is what it is. You know, I've been working, I've been training, and yeah, you know, I'm back in October.
Israel, do you see that as an advantage for yourself, having fought more frequently in that time frame?
Definitely. I'm a guy that stays active. Even before I got in the UFC, there was a time, you know, if you've been following my career before the UFC, for a long time I was fighting all over the world. At one point, excuse me, I had like over 20 fights in a year in China. And the Chinese, they brought me on not to like, you know, they brought me on as a journeyman, if you know what that is. So I was on there to be whooped on by their people. But then once they realized, oh, can't beat them, have them join us. And I fought over 20 times, fought smart, fought healthy, and I did the same thing in the UFC. 6 fights in 14 months. And something he said, like he alluded to, was that, these fights might be wearing on him. He's not wrong, because fight's easy. Trust me, fight's easy for me. But training, putting yourself through the grind, as they say, every fucking day, going in day out, rest days, you know, still going on the days you don't want to go. That wears on the body and on the mind. But like him, now I've had a holiday. I've been chilling. If you've been watching me, I've been back home to Nigeria. I got inspired. I went to Dubai, hanging out with some sheikhs. I was in Saudi Arabia with oil money, just hanging out, enjoying life. I was eating very well. And eventually now I'm rested, I'm inspired, I'm rejuvenated. And right now I feel the best that I've ever felt as well. So the best man will win.
I just got a question for Rob. Just with your abdominal injury, has it sort of changed how you're going to approach your camp going into this fight?
No, you know, I was very fortunate in the fact that they got onto it when they did. I didn't suffer any long-term implications. So the surgery was a complete success. I focused on rehab and then prehab and strength conditioning, and I'm the best I've ever been. I said it before.
And just to Israel.
So.
Is that something you're conscious of, though, that he has, you know, been so long out of the game and coming back to
it? I'll tell you one thing as well. In 2012, I was walking down Queen Street. I had a good night out in town. I was a young boy. And then it was me versus 4 dudes because they got all racist. You see the other guys. But I had my jaw broken on the left side. It's 2 plates, 4 screws. So if he wants to target that, he can target that. But make no mistake, I don't care if he's had his leg broken, his anything. I was going to hit the body. I was going to hit the head, hit the legs, hit the chin, anywhere. So I don't really focus like, ooh, he's got, you know, some kind of fault in the stomach. I'm good at body shots. Why wouldn't I use them? Just because, he might have had a surgery or whatever. I'm going to target everything, and I don't favor it. My hands don't discriminate. I go for everything.
Rob, can I ask you, and Israel as well, the fact that both of you are fighting for a world title for UFC, what does that indicate about the health of the sport in Australia and New Zealand, and why do you think it is so popular locally?
I'll take that one. So, UFC 193, that was at, back then, Etihad Stadium. Now it's Marvel Stadium. And I remember I was in the nosebleeds, and I remember the feeling of that arena. They had to have, people from outside headline the card and stack the card up, and it was a great card. But now, we're stacking this up with people from our own side of the world. That shows you that it's thriving, and even, 17 since 2010, he said, we're still growing, you know. They're sleeping on us down under, but they'll soon find out. And we're gonna blow this. I think we can sell this bitch out, honestly, fast. And we've got 2 guys from this side of the world. We've got the rivalry between Aussies and Kiwis. You know, started off with Pavlova. It's not gonna end here, I'll guarantee you that. You wanna take that one?
Yeah, that's been my biggest focus on for the whole fight, is that we are coming back to Australia at a bigger venue. We have a chance to make UFC history, and it's all kept down in this part of the world. You know, it's one of the most anticipated fights. I think it'll be the biggest event in combat sports for this part of the world, and I really look forward to the growth of the sport after this, for the sport itself and for the athletes, more importantly.
Why do you think it is so popular in Australia?
It's just exciting. Anyone who's seen a UFC fight can see that it's exciting. It's dynamic. You can never tell what's going to happen. And honestly, when you look at the top caliber UFC fighters, they are at the pinnacle of the sport. They are prime athletes, just going out there and putting their hearts on the line. And I think fans can appreciate that.
Will you have playing on your mind your physical problems? Does it? I know you say physically you've recovered, but how does it affect you mentally out there?
Mentally, I'm great. Honestly, it's one of those things that I just believe sometimes shit happens, and it is what it is. You just got to get through it. You get back on the horse, you get back to training, and you get back to work. And that's how I've been always, and I look forward. Yeah.
And there's a great contrast. There's a great contrast in styles off the ring from you two. You only have to sit here, as we have, for 5 minutes to know the difference in the styles. Is your laid-back approach very deliberate?
In what sense is my laid-back approach?
Well, in the way you're talking today, you're very matter-of-fact. Israel's, quite happy to be a showman.
Israel at the end of the day.
Yeah. So is that a deliberate style on your part?
No, this is me. This is what I've always done. I got on a really early flight this morning. So, this is just me. I'm just cruising, and we're putting in work. It's great to see everybody here. Loving that shirt, straight down the middle. And, we're just here working, mate.
Robert, they're talking about 60,000 people at Marvel Stadium for this bout. How exciting is that? I mean, you've clearly got a lot of support in Melbourne as it is.
Yeah, that's unreal. It is unreal. Like I said before, that I feel I owe the Melbourne crowd a show. And to be able to come back on a grander scale with a more anticipated fight just makes me ecstatic. I really do look forward to making UFC history and just bringing the biggest event in combat sports to this side of the world.
Israel as well. The prospect of 60,000 Marvel Stadium, must be pretty exciting.
Yeah, like I said, I was there back then when that happened, when the biggest show was in Australia. And I was in the nosebleeds, I was watching it with one of my boys, Tom VDK, who passed away as well, and Josh Wallace, and we were way back there in the nosebleeds. We talked about this before I got in the UFC. Now, even he fought on that card. And I didn't remember who he fought. I remember Mark Hunt knocked out Bigfoot Part 2. Can't remember anything else. But yeah, I was back there in the nosebleeds, but this time I'm going to be front and center making nosebleeds.
All right, let's open up to some fan questions if anyone's got one.
Sorry. Hey guys, thanks for having me. Oh wait, sorry. Thanks for coming together. I have a question. So you mentioned the last time you were at Etihad. The last time I was there, you were fighting Uriah Hall, and it was just freaking intense. I felt like it was in a Mortal Kombat experience. It was just crazy. How do you feel about getting back in front of that crowd and pushing the 70,000 and just getting back on that stage?
Yeah, I can't wait. The layoff has affected me more than anybody else. Like, I am hungry to get back in there. I love what I do, and I do it for a living. So I'm excited to get in there, do what I love, and earn some money.
Sir.
So Israel, mate, got any fancy dance moves you're going to do before the fight? Because get rid of those nerves.
For me, dancing is mainly for me. Example, UFC 230, I was coming out to Smile Bitch at New York, Madison Square Garden, and I thought I was going to come out and just chill and just walk, because I never really pay attention to anything else around me. And the Holy Ghost caught me, and I started flowing. So whatever my ancestors bring me, I'll let that flow through my body.
Nice. And Reaper, nice to meet you, mate. I'm pretty nervous in front of you, mate, so good to talk to you.
Mate.
But you've got the old belt there. You see Israel doesn't have the new belt. Not sure why, but...
I didn't want to bring... I retired that belt about 2 months ago. I haven't seen it. It's gathering up dust in the gym somewhere, because I say, he's the undisputed champion, Make no mistake about that. Well, actually, he was the interim champion. Let's not make mistakes about that. He was the interim champion. And now, somehow, by some snakes and ladders, king me or whatever, he became the undisputed champion. I didn't hear what you said. Say it again. Hey, what? Blah, blah. English. It took her there. English. I can't hear you properly. Again, use your words. Enunciate. I can't hear you. Wait. Quiet. Say it again.
Well, I didn't ask the question.
I can't hear you. English. Let him talk.
All right, next question.
Enunciate.
So, how are you going to feel taking the new belt?
Yeah,
Can I go?
You know the belts have never really been a part of like the thing that drives me to fight. Like I've never been huge on the belts or winning belts. You know, it's just I just want to win the next fight, like a lot of other fighters do, and in doing that you end up getting one. So yeah, I like his new shiny one. I would like to try to take it off him in October, and you know, like you said earlier, let the best man win.
You'll still be the champ and still.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
All right, who's next?
Hey guys, this is a question for Rob and Izzy. Rob, what did you think of Izzy's last fight, and did you see any holes you'd look to exploit? And then the same for Izzy from Rob's last fight.
Yeah, I thought it was a great last fight of Adesanya. I think, honestly, it was one of the fights of the year. I thought it was a war. I'm not gonna sit here and say I saw holes. I saw stuff that I'm gonna try to exploit, and I'm sure he saw stuff as well. And it's a fight at the end of the day. You know, every fight's different. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna do what I do best, and I'm gonna give it everything I have. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Likewise, my last fight was, I looked like a potato after that fight because I let the Mexican touch me a little bit. But his last fight as well with the Cuban, he got dropped a lot, got rocked a lot. And that's a powerful man, athletic man, an old man, you know, but I'm young. I just turned 30. I'm in my prime right now, just starting. He's young as well. I think he's younger than me. I haven't forgot about that. But he gets touched a lot, and I'm a guy you don't want to get touched by. If you're gonna talk as a fan, just please use your words, enunciate, and so everyone can hear the banter you have. All right? Don't just talk and then sit down and be quiet. Say something. Yeah, your mom too.
I heard you, mate. Don't worry about it.
A question for you, Robert. Big fan, man, by the way.
Thank you, mate.
Daniel Cormier stated that you represent everything a UFC champion should. What type of praise does that? What does that mean to you? That type of praise, and can you give me your prediction for UFC 241, the main event?
Yeah, you know, I think, like, I'm very flattered with that sort of praise from him. I think he's an upstanding bloke himself. You know, the thing is, I don't try to be anything I'm not. I just try to set a role model for my own kids. You know, I want to be something that I can stand like my kids being, and yeah, you know, I truly do believe you got to lead by example. And as for the predictions, you know, DC's looking good. He looks very good. When he moved up to heavyweight, you could see he just feels out better. His power's there. His skill set's there. He's meant to be there. And you know, I'd have to lean to him being a strong favourite.
And question for Israel as well. Can you give me your prediction for UFC 241, the main event?
Nope. It's a great fight, but I'm back in DC. But anything can happen at heavyweight. So yeah, I'm back in DC, but you never know.
Thank you.
Who? Who?
John Jones.
Never heard of him. Say it again. I can't hear you. Bitch, I don't go to you. You come to the champ. Come talk to me. It's easy to talk shit when you're all the way back there. I won't hurt you. Don't worry. No. If you want to talk, just literally, the stairs right there. I will not hurt you. I don't want to get sued. I don't want to get arrested. I want to fight. But you can come talk to me properly. All right?
All right, buddy, over here.
Ozzy!
All right, yes, sir, already here. Yep. Can we get that microphone on?
The fight go down. Any predictions?
You talking to Rob?
How do you think the fight go down on the fight day? And any predictions?
It was cutting out. Can you
All right.
This guy came prepared.
Yeah.
Well, shh.
Josh.
All right.
Josh.
Wait, shut. Let him talk. No, leave him. Hey, leave him. Nah, bro, leave him. Hey.
No, we're good.
Okay, wait, let me talk. Let me answer. Can I rebuttal?
Yep.
So, you said 10 rounds with your medal. And fucking what? You don't fucking need 10 rounds with a man. If you spend 10 rounds with one man, that's 5 rounds too long. All you need is 3, 2, or 1. Understand that?
Hey, hey, mate, that is a cracker shirt. Cracker shirt, mate. Where'd you get it?
From the dumpster.
All right, let's move over to this guy right here.
Sorry, it was cutting out before. What did you say earlier?
Got a question for both fighters. How do you think the fight go down on the fight day? And any predictions?
Yeah, I'm hoping it's a 5-round slugfest and I scrape a victory by split decision.
All right.
You want to answer that too?
For me, I might take him down and lay a prayer for 5 rounds. Because GSP's done it. GSP built a whole career off it, so yeah, I'm gonna implement that as well.
All right, we'll take one more question, and not from the guy up top.
Come on.
Kia ora, bro. Rob, first and foremost, from all the way from New Zealand, representing the Kiwis here. Proud of both of you. Ngā mihi kia koe. I'm proud, but obviously my heart has to go with Israel. Brother, we're so proud of you, bro, how far you've come. Same as you, Rob. But until you put the flag up for Aussie, you know what, my heart shifted to the sky.
Kia ora, my bro. Kia ora.
So, my question to you, brother, Israel, what's it feel like to be a Kiwi, Nigerian, representing New Zealand?
Bro, fucking hell, I grew up in Rotorua, eh? Grew up in Rotorua, moved to Honganui, and eventually Auckland, the 09. I'll tell you one thing. I know more about Kiwi culture and more about New Zealand culture. I've been on the grounds. I know more about that than this guy over here. I know you can have dual citizenship, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, you have to still know where home is, where the heart is. Home is where your bloodline is, your warrior race. He's a Modi. Modis, for generations, they've been a warrior race. Do some Googles if you don't know yet. Do some Googles. And he has... Say it again? Yes? What was that? Home is, like I said, home is where the heart is. I have Africa with Nigeria outline tattooed on my chest for a reason. Look at my skin. My fucking skin is black. Do I fucking look like a Kiwi to you? But at the end of the day, listen, cunt, listen. At the end of the day, hey. Listen, if you want to listen, let me school you on some game. Like I said, I grew up in Rotorua. I spent 6 years there. I grew up in Wanganui. I spent 4 years there. Now I'm in Auckland. Whenever I fly from anywhere in the world and I see the Sky Tower, my heart races because I'm excited to be home. But at the end of the day, when you look at my skin, you can be dual citizenship. Don't get me wrong. I fucking raised the Chinese flag when I was there because they were paying me money. But at the end of the day, home is where the heart is.
No. All right, here we go. We're gonna face these guys off for a sec.
Oh.
We're good. And then, thank you very much.
I love that cunt.
Tickets on sale tomorrow. Let's go. We'll clean it up.
Yeah. Oh, you should have.
You can't
Give him a 20 on the way out. Give him a 20 on the way out.